What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Sunday night. Hope you had a great weekend, and I appreciate you taking the time, but we're here to talk some birds, baby. So, look, I wanted to get out that defensive edge rusher video today, and look, I was almost done with it. Oh, so close, and don't worry, when I put it out, it's the most jam-packed one. We have got 22 top fits. There's just so many. Just look out for that video. Going to be putting it out as soon as I get home from work tomorrow. So we went through all of the offense, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, went through each of them, looked at the Eagles, looked at every single free agent available, who the top fits are for the Eagles, in my opinion. And then we looked at the interior defensive line. Now we're going to look at the edge rushers, linebackers, corners, safeties, special teams. This week, we're going to get it in. We are, so close. We are literally 12 days away. Now, tampering period starts in 10 days. So a lot of fun things are about to begin. Going to get you prepped for that period. Now, one thing we talked about is our free agents already. And, well, it's that time of year. Everybody's going to tell us what Howie Roseman is going to do. Hilarious, because fact of the matter is they really have no idea. Now, the report today, of course, is, and of course, I told you throughout this offseason, this sicko season, my man Troy in here, let's go. Yo, appreciate you and everybody tuning in. Whatever your thoughts are, any questions, comments, whatever you guys have got, I'm here live at 10 night. And if you're watching this later, love to hear your comments as well. But we're going to go through this. We're going to talk about this stuff because, as I tell you, look, I don't want to have to do this, but, well, this is the world we live in where everyone's just going to make rumors and they just become true. So, well, I guess we got to talk about all these things now. I'm going to continue to stay on top of everything else as well. So, true sicko season, and all of you sickos that are tuning in, I know you love all the content you can get. So, tonight, I thought, well, let's do a live one. Let's talk about these things that, of course, they're going to continue putting out. And, well, first up to bat, we've got Fletcher Cox. Now, we talked about this the last few weeks, during the Stay or Go show. We talked about the 22 free agents the Eagles have. And Fletcher Cox, obviously being one of them, he is, still playing at a high level, but it's a possibility he retires. It's a possibility somebody would pay him more than what we were willing to pay him. So a lot of things are on the table, but apparently the rumor is that, well, he plans to retire. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN says that he's expected to retire at some point this offseason. Like, okay, so some point he's just going to figure it out. Like, well, okay, the Eagles, and I've talked about this, I do believe they'll just move on. Now, the great thing for you guys is we've already talked about the defensive tackles, interior defensive line, looked at all of the free agents, and we talked about what the Eagles have there. Now, you've got Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, your first-round picks the last couple of years. You've got Milton Williams as stud. You've got Marlon Tuipulotu, Ojomo. You've got some reserve future guys in Booker and Ellis, and obviously the free agent Fletcher Cox. So you've got some young talent here. I'm very excited about the future, but you're always adding to the trenches. We talked about some free agent options. There's going to be people in the draft. So Fletcher Cox, I don't even know if the Eagles plan to bring him back. And, at this point, you've got a lot of talent there. So he doesn't need to come back. I'd love to have him back if he's going to sign a veteran minimum, play at the kind of role that Brandon Graham's playing where he's that depth piece. So for me, I don't know that he comes back, and I don't know that he wants to play for anybody else. So maybe he just hangs up the cleats, retires as an Eagle. Would love to see it. Don't want to see this guy declining on the field, because you see so much hate for this guy over the last couple of years, and you've seen him, trying, out different positions within, these different schemes where people always just a D tackle. And it's like, man, they've got him lining up at different techniques. Sometimes I don't agree with. And I think, throughout the years, he has just continued to impress, especially at that age. So, hey, we'll see. And I think that for me, he's still got a lot left in the tank. He played pretty damn well. And we talked about that. I would love to have him back. Like, he was one of my top fits. Bring him back at that, like, let Milton Williams have all the guys more snaps, but even Milton Williams, let him be that third guy. Let Cox be your fourth. So for me, I would love to have him back, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's something we talked about. It's up to him. We'll see what he decides to do, but I'd love to have him. I would truly love to have him, but let me know how you guys feel. would you like to see him continue to go? Because look at what, you talk about it. We drafted him in the first round, was it 2012, I believe it was. And Brandon Graham was drafted in the first round in 2010. So he's been playing for 2 more years. I think Cox is 32. Brandon Graham's like 35. So, dude, you never know. If he wants to continue to play, I'd love to have him back. But they're going to continue to put stuff like that out there. And they always do this, man. Like, and yo, my man Joe, appreciate you tuning in. We got Hulk up in here. Yo, love to see it. And look, Christian Wilkins is somebody I mentioned the other day when making that video. And there's a lot of options out there. I don't know, though, that we go for Christian Wilkins. That was one of my points. Think he's great. I just don't know that the Eagles spend at D tackle. I think there's a lot of other positions we look to add in free agency. We've got the draft coming up, but we've already got a lot of young talent that I just mentioned there a second ago in Carter Davis, Milton Williams, Tuipulotu, Ajomo. So I'm pumped about what we already have here. So, yeah, but Raekwon Davis, a backup there in Miami at nose tackle. You talk about Deshaun Hand, some other options as well that you don't need to spend top dollar because Christian Wilkins, one of the best, D tackles in the game. So I'm with you, Hulk. I like him, but I think I love Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, and I think we'll be just fine there. But that's a great point there, my friend. And go check out that video. I'll post it down in the comments below, but go check out that video, interior defensive line. We just talked about this stuff before this news. It's not really news, dude, but I'll always jump in front of this stuff, tell you if it's BS or what we need to talk about. But every team needs vets. Yeah, man. Cox, Graham, you never want to have just all rookies or anything like that. That would not be good. You definitely want to have some leaders, some vets that know what's going on. That's a key to finding the mix. And that's what we talk about every year when people get pissed. We can't sign veterans. It's like, no, you do want them. So I've talked about some veterans so far this year on offense, a little on defense just the other day that are familiar with Vic Fangio's system. As I mentioned there, with Raekwon Davis, obviously because of your Christian Wilkins question there. And I talked about him the other day. A lot of guys in this Vic Fangio system, we're going to talk about, coming up throughout these next couple of days with the defense. So, look, man, Fletch has been great for sure, my friend. If he can get better money. And that's something I talked about as well. Maybe somebody's like, dude, we'd love to have you. We think you should be, because he led the team in snaps this year. He still was our top guy with these young guys learning under him, which I was fine with. But, I think at a different price, different role, is where I would bring him back. We'll see if he gets more money. But, yeah, how he's going to be doing his best to figure it out. Yo, my man. Yo, Colin, appreciate you, dude. Hope you're having yourself a great weekend. And, if he retires, how much would we save? He's a free agent, so you would already save what you are saving there that we've talked about. So nothing would change. He is a free agent. And we're going to talk about CJ Gardner-Johnson in a second here. Check out the previous video. Yo, no doubt, my man. And there's an entire one on offense as well. So go check those out if you guys are looking at, whatever position it is. You can get all the information you need about the cap space. And now, remember, at each video, it gives you the cap space, but the latest one has the latest cap space, which is, about 41.9 million. But the young guys out going at, you always want to get your young guys, and that's what they do. You got to develop your players first, and then they play. What's going on? Yo, Tiffany, appreciate you tuning in. Let's go. Let's go, Birds. Having a blast. Yo, that's what this is all about, bringing you guys in, talking some Birds. Had a little time. I got to get up at 5 a.m. though, so going to, try to keep this around 20 minutes. So get in what you got, ladies and gentlemen. But let's take a look at this next piece. So CJ Gardner-Johnson, apparently now Jeremy Fowler's on a roll today here because, Eagles may bring back CJ Gardner-Johnson. So he says may, and everybody jumps on, oh, my God, he's coming back. CJ Gardner-Johnson reunion in Philadelphia is on my radar. The Eagles realize they missed the talent safety in the secondary. All right, dude. This kind of stuff, to me, is just so funny. He just may. Just like Fletcher Cox may at some point. Just so if he does, I had it first, I told you. And then if it doesn't happen, I told you he may. It's like, this is so funny. And I do this every off season where I try to figure out, how he's going to do. And, I think we've all seen throughout the years compared to them, and, it's not even in competition. But people get mad that I won't talk about all of these things they make up throughout the offseason. So we started last year, it's sicko season. We jump in front of all of it. We talk about all of it. You want to talk about that stuff? Okay. All right. We're going to talk about it. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Oh, should have never let him leave. Well, that's why we offered him money. He shouldn't have had a dumbass. A few dumbasses apparently in his agency that just didn't know what they were doing. And we've broken down the contract talk all about it. I'm not even going to sit here and explain it anymore. But the fact of the matter is he messed up. He went 1-year deal and then he messes up even more, gets injured. Not great. So everybody talks about how we got to have CJ Gardner-Johnson back. Oh, we messed up. The guy he played like 4 or 5 games last season. Okay. Played 12 games for us the season before. So can't play a full season. You're talking about how you don't want Eddie Jackson because he's got injury history. He's fallen off. This guy is not even on the field. And they're talking about, he may, this, that. It's like, dude, seems like there's bad blood. I don't know if you've seen the video where he talks trash about the Eagles and their fans. He doesn't seem to be, huge on it. Somebody stole, remember, his like a Toyota Camry or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was not a good time for him. And he, happily bounced. So for me, I don't know that this reunion that may happen is really going to happen. And I cannot wait to get into the safety position. Dude, I've already been, getting all these together with, the positions. And there are obviously Antoine Winfield Jr., everybody, the top safety in the game. He's a free agent. I mean, the Bucs have to be crazy to let this kid walk, but it's free agency. Do whatever the hell he wants. So we'll see, man. Maybe they try to tag him, do whatever. But I think that, this free agency is going to go well for the Eagles. We've already taken a look at that offense and this defense, man. It's not just what you're going to do because people, we got to draft. Like, obviously, dude, but the free agency period comes first. Then the draft is a month later. So you get this time period to build your team up and, you see kind of where your holes are and where you need to go from there. You go into the draft. And then after that, you can sign more free agents, undrafted free agents. And, you just get things figured out for your roster. And people all like right now, it's like, we don't have this roster. It's like, no shit, man. It's the off season. It just began. Damn it. Like the Super Bowl. Am I in a different world? I don't know, man. We've been breaking stuff down for, a month and a half. Yes. Sicko season began a while ago, but holy hell, we got to wait for free agency in the draft before we're talking about what this roster looks like. We don't have linebackers. We don't have safety. Yes, that's right. We just cut a safety. That's why we don't have that's, there's reasons for these things. There's reasons that I make those videos. The 15 ways this year, I gave you 15 ways the Eagles could create cap space. And you've seen so many people finally figuring it out. But I showed you that a month and a half ago. Then we can create up to like $40 million in cap space. And we already did one of those things with Byard. And you look at how many other things that could still happen with Maddox and Sweat and Reddick and all the people. Go check that video out. All of the contract information for all of those players you need to know. And there's playlists for all this stuff on my YouTube. Show Me the Money is what you're looking for. If you're looking for any of that stuff, there is everything, all the roster moves, all of the coaching information. I even put out a coaching video the other day with the entire coaching staff, all of the new coaches' resumes, everything you need to know this offseason, breaking it down, updated cap space, whatever you literally need to know, I have got it for you. But this stuff, if this is what people are going to talk about, we're going to jump in front of it. We're going to do whatever. But, as my man Colin said, I know some of you guys just like, shooting the breeze here. So that's what we're doing. And I'm going to get rolling out in a few minutes here. But any final thoughts from you guys? Love to hear it. But I got to rewatch this. Did you get my photos? I did not. No, I did not. What's the Eagles' next move in your opinion? Oh, a lot. And we've been talking about it this entire sicko season. So go check out those videos. And you can also check out the one where I have the positional strength. So you can see where I think the Eagles need to add first and foremost. But we'll see what they do. And hey, I appreciate it. Love that you guys, I love that I found people that are into that, man. That's what I'm all about, putting out those facts. And I know you guys are true sickos and love talking about anything and everything. So, we'll hit up on everything. Because fan players speak freely on the podcast going forward and not want to close off players afraid of their fandom. Their podcasts going forward. What do you mean? And you can always speak freely here. one thing we always laugh at here, we're always going to laugh at the Cowboys type fans, though. Like, we don't deal with the bitch ass fans who always just want to whine about everything. But no, you can always speak freely here, man. We just don't do the stupid stuff, whining, following, the ESP, Dan Sileo stuff. That's just not what this place is about. We know a lot of people love to repeat the stupid shit, but not in these parts. Yeah, Darius Slay was great. So you can just tell how stupid people are when they say he's not good. So I agree with you. It's a big failure from the fans to see that they just have no idea what's going on. It's crazy. And yeah, I know, man, Tiffany, it's crazy that people they hate the Eagles. They hate everything and they have no clue what they're watching. And you try to break it down, show them everything, break down what needs to be fixed. And it's always just, I hate everything. And it's crazy to see. But hey, that's why I love you sickos. Who cares? Honestly, at this point, it's like, who cares, man? Entitled to speak their mind. Yeah, man. And it's great to see the players. They are human beings, and you see fans get very offended that they speak their minds, and it's okay, man. People just aren't built for this team. They're just, they say about the, players that, they're just not tough. And it's like, bro, only people whining. You see it, so it's funny. But no, you're definitely going to lock up Devontae Smith. He is somebody that, you drafted, and he is going to be part of this future. And when you hit on those draft picks, you want to lock them up. So that is going to be a priority. That is also one of those things we talked about. The Eagles will be getting that done. And I look forward to seeing his future here. And you have a great night as well, my man, Joe. Appreciate you taking the time, my friend. Have you seen linebacker from Texas A&M yet? Oh, hell yeah. We just talked about Coop the other day. And look, I think there's a lot of guys where, and I've told you guys a million times, as soon as this free agency thing is done with this series I'm putting out, I will go through and do the same exact thing, position by position with the draft. So get ready, strap in. And look, the Eagles, it's funny. I talked about the linebackers the other day. Talked about, Trotter Jr., Cooper, who you're talking about. And, obviously, the Eagles are going to talk to everybody at the combine and stuff. It's crazy to see people like, we're going to draft them now. It's like, well, I mean, you're going to talk to them. We're still going to do whatever we want. But need 4 starters for the 3-4. No, that's not how it works. We already have our 2 edges. Hassan Reddick and Joshua are starters. Marina, I know you get very confused about this every single year. But you can always, as I tell you every offseason, go check out those videos about the multiple schemes. And it explains to you what outside linebackers are. Those edge defenders, the outside guys are way different. And I think I actually have this graphic, and it's to help those of you that are struggling with this. So let me show you here. So this has been part of the free agency series to show you guys that don't understand this odd front stuff. So what you see is your interior guys, Carter, Davis, Williams, Tuipulotu, Ajomo that I just talked about. Your actual linebackers, you're saying you need 4. No, your 2 outside linebackers that can be defensive edge, the edge rushers, the edge defenders. That's Reddick and Sweat. So that's 2 of your linebackers. And then you've got Smith and Johnson as depth. You could see the reserve future guys we've added. We will add in the draft. Everything else, it's just Tehran. I don't know why this says Terrion. But your actual linebackers are Dean and Van Sumeren. So those are your off-ball linebackers. And these guys, obviously are going to be changed by the time we get to the season. So the Eagles are very aware, but I know a lot of fans get confused, but there is free agency and the draft. So they will be adding. You're not just going into this offseason with Dean and Van Sumeren as your only guys there. So I might have some other graphics that could help you understand this a little more too. Yes. So this one's from that explaining Vic Fangio's defense. So this is what a lot of you guys think, a 3-4. So those other 2 linebackers, as I just explained with Reddick and Sweat there, you can see now more so it's a 5-2. So those guys are your outside linebackers. They're your edge guys. But you can see that, you've got Dean and Van Sumeren there. They will be adding to that room, and you'll actually see a lot of 4-2 as well, because you're going to be using a lot of nickels. So you have Avonte Maddox there, but those guys can be defensive ends in your even front. So I know it gets very confusing for people, but this is year 4 of running the multiple fronts, and I've explained it every single offseason. And Marina, I know you've struggled each and every offseason with that, but I've explained it to you, and you can always go back and check out those videos because it's the same thing we have talked about over and over again. But let me see here where we were. all week on the week radio slay. Yeah, man. People were really upset that he was saying, just no other place where people just boo people even when they're doing good. And it's really stupid. You saw with Jalen Hurts, everybody, and it's this new sect of the fan base, and they're just annoying. And no one really cares, to be honest with you. Going after Snead, well, I don't know all about that. He's been posting Eagles stuff, like little emojis, and that's cool. But I think that we've got some young talent there. We talked about it. Isaiah Rodgers, very excited. So don't know that we have to do that. And even if they tag him, you could trade for him. But hey, I'm not against it. I like L'Jarius Sneed. We'll talk about those corners, though. Which kept from Cox, Reddick, Maddox, and Kelsey. Cox is a free agent. You wouldn't get any. Reddick, Maddox, and Kelsey is also a free agent. But Maddox and Reddick, you can go check out that video I was just talking about, 15 ways to create cap space, and you can see all that contract information. But Dan Cilio, oh, yeah, he is a complete moron. I can't believe people follow that stuff. We're definitely keeping him. Send you a picture. Oh, hell yeah. I will check it out then. Just got home right before I got on this video, but I'll check out all my messages. Check out that linebacker video. I'll be putting out the edge rushers and linebackers the next couple of days here. I'll be running the hybrid. It'll be closer to 2-3-4. No, that's incorrect. It's Vic Fangio defense that you can go check out that video, and it explains it all. This is the actual defense that these other ones are running variations of. This is the thing that we have used each year to talk about what they want to be like. And we talked about how they would differ, but this is the actual defense. So no, it's going to be the same things we've talked about. It's multiple scheme defense. So nothing like the 3-4 you're thinking it is, but you can go check out that video. And I definitely will, man. It's going to be a tough day. If any crazy things happen, maybe I'll be lucky enough, like on Friday, to be able to have a lunch break. I don't know. Tomorrow's supposed to be crazy, but going to get it in either way. And if something happens during the day, I'll be home around 4 or 5. I'll make a video on it, but I'm going to drop that defensive video on you guys. We'll be talking about it. Make a vlog, but they still draft a wide receiver in the first. Look, there's a lot of talent in this draft, and we've talked about the possibility of adding a wide receiver 3 in one of the top rounds. Now, I don't know that in the first round that you would necessarily look to do that, but it's not about, in this draft, you get the best available. If that kid's fallen or somebody else you like is fallen at whatever position it is, do not think just because you have someone. Remember when we had Ertz and we got Goddard. I mean, you just took Jordan Davis. You take Jalen Carter, although different types of tight ends, different types of defensive tackles there. But I think, either way, there's always a possibility. And Howie Roseman could always trade up, trade back. So many things could happen. And I'll be breaking it down like I do every year. I go through and I talk about the possibility. We look at every single person in the draft and we talk about where I think the Eagles could look. If they should look at this person, that and Xavier Worthy, obviously, especially breaking records, 40 times people get enamored with, but you got to look at the whole game, and we'll be talking about him. We'll be talking about everybody very soon here. So I'm looking forward to it. We don't want Sweat and Reddick and pass coverage. No, they don't really cover too much, but they will drop. That's just the way it works. I know you get confused about that every year, but they aren't like coverage guys, but they do drop as that disguise. Again, you can check out that video, and it is, you want it explained again this year, you can go check the new one out with it all explained again. We added Terrell Lewis. Yes, that's why he is on that list there that you just saw. So, he is there. Vontae Max will be cut unless his contract is restructured. Well, we talked about that during the video. Definitely going to be restructured, extended, possibly traded or cut. But you can save money by restructuring or extending, as I told you guys a month and a half ago there. 15 names. Go check it out that you will see the Eagles. Howie Roseman will be working his wonders there. Struggle like coach has scheme and you don't use the ends as edge and use the line. No, that's incorrect. They're both defensive ends and outside linebackers. They're just D ends when they're in the even fronts. You have to understand that they'll be playing different techniques, different schemes. If you check out that video and you just saw a couple of the ones, I think I had a total of, what was it, if you guys watch it, like 12 or 13 different schemes that Vic Fangio uses. And you have to have those versatile pieces that we talk about. You see people, this guy's undersized. It's like, no, that's just how it works. So I try to explain it every year. And now that you've actually got Vic Fangio, again, that video will do you justice. I promise it will help so much. And I actually send you in the direction of people that, if you're a true sicko and you want to understand how it works, I send you in the direction of these people that literally have worked for the Eagles, have worked under Vic Fangio. There's people that literally will explain this stuff even more insane. I simplify it for you guys, but if you really want to understand it, I tell you where to go. And each year I try to get people on board with it. But only so much I can do for you, but very deep draft indeed, my man. And I cannot wait to be breaking it all down. This free agency period's been fun. I don't know if you sickos have been enjoying it, but I'm very, very pumped about it. Very pumped. That's why we get towards, yeah, man, you got to understand that they don't drop into coverage more than a couple of times a game, if that, because it's just part of the scheme. And that's why you need young athletic guys. That's why you draft someone like Nolan Smith. And that's why we've been running this type of, variations of it for this will be year 4 now. So luckily we've already got all the players in place for things like this. Is why you got a nose tackle the other year. So these are the things, that we break down each year, explaining why they were close to Fangio. Now you're actually getting the real thing. So I'm very excited about it. Fangio's scheme works with more hybrid athletic players starting with the linebacker. Yeah, indeed. As I was just mentioning there, and appreciate you tuning in, Linda. Let's go. But yeah, man, you've got a lot of athletic guys here that already fit the bill of what you're trying to do here. And that's why you got Vic Fangio, because it's a match made in heaven. This is what we've been trying to do. We've got him. We got the godfather of this multiple scheme defense. And Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, they hate it because he's going to match up against you. It's going to be different things each week. What is the strength of the offense? How can we shut things down? How do we dictate the game? That's what you want to see from your defense. And I think that this team is, already got some great young pieces in place that we've talked about all damn season last year, off season, where we're going to build around it and we'll be all right. I promise you, a lot of doom and gloom out there, but we have no idea. We haven't seen free agency of the draft. I'm going to break it down position by position like I do every damn year. And if Howie just follows the blueprint, we'll be right back into contention. So do not fear, ladies and gentlemen. We'll break it all down. But if you guys are wondering how this defense works, go check that video out. I think it's under the playlist with the coaching stuff. It might be under Sicko season as well. But it's just all of the schemes, all of those little pictures you guys like, all that stuff. But 8 days away. No, it's March 15th, but March 13th is the tampering period. But I'm very, very excited about it. Now, as I'm saying here, looking at this, type of defense, how it's like a hybrid. Let me try to scroll all the way back up here. But okay, so, we talk about the different variations, and I'm telling you, man, there are so many different ones that I looked at here. But I mean, you've got the dollar formation that we'll use with, that. And look, once Sidney Brown's healthy, once you add more pieces, and obviously the shows from like a month and a half ago, Kevin Byard is not here. You're going to need to add safeties. You're going to need to add cornerbacks and safeties and linebackers and oh my, all of it. Now, I think interior D-line, you're all right. Edge rushers, I'm making that video right now. And let me tell you something, man. Some of these I'm really excited to talk about. Let me just give you a quick little glance there. And this is just one of 4 pages. And we're going to talk about all of the free agents and what I think the Eagles should do with Reddick, Sweat. I've already talked about it, but I'll continue to talk about it throughout this free agency period, keeping you up to date with anything. But I got to get rolling out here. Got to get to sleep here. I am working on with some fumes here left. That's pretty much what I've got. Would it be wise to draft Cooper from Texas A&M? Depth. Hey, look, we need starters. We need depth at linebacker. We need all of the above. And you heard me talk about Cooper the other day. And, he's more of an off-ball guy. He's not going to be an edge rusher for you. But a lot of talent there. We'll be talking about him during that draft stuff. It's going to be taking the next step. Yeah, you want to see him continue to develop, improve. You just hope that he gets better. We need him to. So hoping the best for him. Would be a starter. We don't have an. Yeah, you would want, him to be the starter with Nakobe Dean, but you have no idea what you're going to add in free agency. Go get Patrick Queen. But a lot of options out there, and I'm looking forward to that damn video too. And hey, I appreciate that. And look, I try to do my best. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to reach out, comment down below, whatever it is. But I appreciate that. I seriously do. Tiffany, Colin, you guys are way too kind. To do my best to, teach people. I'm not trying to be a jerk, especially when I have to say something for 4 years in a row. I'm just trying to help. I promise you, if you just listen a little, it would really help some of it. I'm not trying to go against, whatever you believe. I'm just trying to tell you how it is and what, the fact of the matter is. So go check out those videos I just mentioned. I will do my best. I'll make a post and I'll put all of them in one comment section with all of the links to them that way. And I'll try to remember each one I talked about here so you guys can go check them out because they're very informative. And I think they would help a lot of people understand what is going on here. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Little G, thank you for tuning in. I am rolling out here, but you all have yourselves a great night. I appreciate you taking the time live here. If you're watching this later, love to hear from you. You're watching right now, you want to keep talking about it? Love to keep talking about it because I'm always down to talk some birds. But got an early morning tomorrow, and whenever I get home, we'll talk about if there's something that happened, I'll make a live video. If not, I'm putting out that damn edge rusher video so I can get ready for that damn linebacker video. Then we can do the corners and then get into the damn safeties because, oh boy, lots to talk about, not only with just the free agents, but what's going on with the Eagles. So I'll keep breaking it down. Until then, go check out all those other ones and have yourself a damn good night. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Yo, appreciate you, my man Seamus, Colin, all of you and your kind words. Hope you guys all had yourselves a fantastic weekend. But until next time, stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!